Okay, guys, welcome back. You know what time it is. My name is Yao A. Owusu Jr., and I am your what? Resident Vitality Consultant. Now, today I'm joined with my man, Andre Bivens Jr., and my man, Nicholas Lopez Jr. We're going to dive deep into the first video. Remember that 3 steps to master your mindset, and we're going to go back to that mindset pillar. The reason, because it is super important. We'll take a little bit different twist today. We're going to talk about your mental preparation. How do you prepare yourself? How do you prepare your mind? Now, like we did last week, I know you guys watched that. I'm not going to take any direction. We're just going to go right to it. Now, for all of our viewers out there, we know there's many, there's millions. Like The Rock said there's millions. Okay, we'll cut that out for now. We want to take a deeper dive into how we prepare ourselves. Now, I have my own mental preparation for nutrition, for training, for sleep, obviously for mindset. Now, for all those people out there, and I've had some clients say, I don't know if I need to prepare myself. Let's just come right to the gym. Let's just start my day. Now, we know we don't participate in that, and of course, our clients don't participate in that. But for all those people out there that do participate in, I just want to start my day, we're going to pass it to Nick, and then I'm going to come to you, Dre. Mental preparation. What do you say for all those people out there that, what does mental preparation have to do with being more vital, being the best you can be?
That's a really great question. I'm really thinking. The first thing that comes to mind is if someone does that person have a goal? And if they do, like start to let them have that inner dialogue with themselves where it's like, okay, do I wake up feeling concentrated? Do I wake up feeling focused? Am I really focused towards accomplishing that goal? Or do I feel like I'm distracted easily or like I don't have any type of direction? So it's hard. I mean, that's a tough question.
Okay.
It's a tough question. I don't really.
So the mental preparation, you would say for people that don't really believe in that or don't have the perception of it, it is a very difficult topic to get because if you've never really programmed yourself to have that preparation and you're just, I'm going to start my day, I wake up and I brush my teeth, I'm gone, they might not feel the results from it. So that's why I'm saying, like, and I'll pass this to Dre, when we're talking about mental preparation, we all have it. You might not know that you're doing it. It might be a routine that you've been doing for a while, and it might not be a good routine, but that's your routine. That's your preparation. So what I'm saying to pass that question to you is, for people out there that do not consciously have a mental preparation, like you said, that awareness, what would you say out there to our viewers that say, okay, why do I need mental preparation?
Okay. I would say from a physical standpoint, right, working out, right, I think it's actually, like Nick said, it was actually perfect. He was like, the goal, do you have a goal? So if you go to the gym and you don't have a goal, you don't have a program or anything like that, it's hard to you can't mentally prep yourself if you don't have those things. So you definitely need a goal. So when you go into the gym, you're telling yourself, okay, you look at your program, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, right? So I would say Nick definitely hit it on the head with the goal thing, for sure, yeah.
I like that. So when we're talking about mental preparation, first, having a goal. And that goes to all of our pillars, right? Yeah. You have to have a goal first. So what is your goal for sleep? Do you want to have a good quality sleep? So check out our videos on 3 steps to high quality sleep. And we repeat ourselves over and over again. How do you prepare yourself to recover, right? So having that goal is very, very important. Obviously, being aware, check out our videos, we won't get too much into that, but being aware, having belief, and actually having the discipline. So that programming that you're saying for a goal first, make sure that everything is goal oriented. I think to have the outcome that you want, you have to actually have a goal first. So we'll pick on the physical realm. Let's talk about mental preparation for exercise. So we talk about having a goal for exercise. Why do you want to do it? What are you trying to get out of it? And if you have a specific goal, you have to actually prepare yourself to meet that success for that goal. So I'm definitely piggybacking on what you're saying. You have to have a goal first. I'm piggybacking on what you're saying to meet that success. What is your goal so you can have a program to meet that goal? Okay, boom. So next question.
I got it. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get raw here. So I'm just going.
Oh, we got to give it to me raw.
We got to go.
ODB, baby.
ODB. So we got to go into like a deep combo, right? So when you asking me, I was thinking about the question.
Okay.
While I'm listening, and I'm like, damn, like there's no way to answer this without really getting vulnerable or like quote unquote intimate. So I'm thinking like,
Ooh, cutie music.
man, intimacy is actually, actually varies. But
Okay.
that's a different type of intimacy.
Oh, hey.
So basically, I'm thinking like like you said, you need mental prep for physical, but you also need mental prep for just mental.
Okay.
Right? Like you need mental prep. And what does that really mean? Like, what do you mean you need mental prep
Prep for mental. Okay.
It's really like you need to prepare yourself mentally to have I'm not going to say the sugar-coated positive 24/7 mindset.
Just give it to them.
But just have a adaptive mindset. Okay, so
I like that.
so that would be my message.
Okay.
I'm thinking, I'm like, okay.
Okay.
If it's hard to have it's hard to have an adaptive mindset. An adaptive mindset means basically you are able to deal with things that are out of your control, and it's almost like the control paradox. So again, you're in control to how you respond to things, how you respond mentally to things, to things that happen that are out of your control. A tree could fall down on your car.
I was gonna say, give us an example. Give us an example.
I mean, anything can happen that's out of your control.
So a tree falls down in your car.
Like COVID.
Okay.
COVID was out of your control.
Easy.
So how do you have to prepare to have an adaptive mindset, because that's not an easy thing. It's something that I think gets overlooked. That's something that gets overlooked. That's just something about, most people say just stay positive.
Right.
And I think we've had conversations about that before.
Right.
Early on, I think as soon as COVID hit, it's all about being adaptive.
Right.
And so what does an adaptive mindset mean? I guess I can ask you those questions, but that would be my message. Like if you don't believe in a mental preparation routine or habit, then have you ever asked yourself if you have an adaptive mindset? And so I guess I'll run that question to you guys to help define what adaptive mindset is.
I mean, I think that's perfect. I'm gonna pass it to Dre, but before that, I want to piggyback on what you just said. I think the kind of message that we all want to bring out there is being adaptive, or we like to call it chameleon culture, right? So
the mindset.
Yes, the form of pure intelligence is how well a organism adapts to its environment. The better you adapt to something, the more intelligent they say you are. Now, I do believe that. So we'll make it personal. We all had 3 successful businesses in training. And we know through COVID, training shut down. We had to adapt. So we adapted. We started online platforms. We started Coaches Academy. Check that out. We started pushing out products that would help service our community. Our RHM program, check that out. Our Eat Right for Your Body Type. We have 2 videos addressing our nutrition. So that is adaptability. Now, just ask yourself, your friends, your family, the people that have kept a positive. So think about the most positive people in your life. Ask them, are they adaptive? Were they able to adapt to what happened through COVID? You see the businesses that were able to turnstile and adapt. Outside eating, right? You couldn't eat inside. They adapted. So those businesses stayed afloat. And some of those businesses succeeded. The tech world, are we going to get into that? They succeeded. So what we're doing right now is showing you that this is not even up for debate, really. We would love you to have comments, share, like, and subscribe, but this is not up for debate. If you do not adapt, you will fail. Period. So I'm going to pass it to you. We know mental preparation. Yes, switch camera. We all agree. We have to adapt. Now, what would you say your best way of adapting in the physical realm? Because I know you're a coach at heart. So in the physical realm, how would someone adapt to that mental preparation?
I have to go with positive reinforcement again. Okay. I said it. I would say something like just communicating with your clients, telling them, making them understand that, for right now, this is the new wave. We have to do this for right now. Who knows how long, but to keep them in. It's such a tough.
It is a tough, and for all of us out there that are having a tough time, just listening to this conversation, we can go in many different ways. Yeah, so I'm going to break it down even easier.
I still want to hear what an adaptive mindset is.
Keep trailing that in. So
the adaptive mindset has the ability to adapt, like seriously, mentally, like not everyone, there's people, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can preach, you can do all these things, and some people, honestly, you can feel a certain way about it, but it's It's true. I've seen it. I've been around it, you know. So I would say, as far as mentally adapting, I would say you have to learn how to not panic, like push the panic button, like, oh my God, what I'm going to do, right? Sit down, relax, figure it out. Intelligence, that's what intelligent people do. Adapt, right? You have to figure it out on the fly as you go on. So, you know, I'll cap it off there and then we'll go back and come around if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I'm listening to what you're saying, and what you're saying does piggyback for what he says. So answer the question of how are we supposed to adapt? And this goes back to preparation. So not everyone has the ability to adapt. We understand that. Those are the people that kind of didn't reach their mark of success during COVID, but there's a program for that. This is what our coaching and consulting company does, is we give you solutions to help you master your mindset, to get that adaptive culture, to get that adaptive lifestyle.
We're doing it right now on this YouTube channel. This is what we're doing. We're giving y'all like how to adapt. Just listen to our conversations. That's perfect.
Exactly.
Right? Perfect. I will leave it there.
Perfect. So for me, we have to understand that the adaptability to everything in life comes from having preparation. We had to prepare ourselves through last year in COVID, having meetings every single day to make sure we were on top of each other, to make sure we were feeling good, we were looking good, we were eating good, we were sleeping good, we were stretching good. And I know this sounds like a broken record. Honing in on those 5 pillars helped us up our adaptability to everything we're doing. So I would say for people out there that are having a hard time adapting or not knowing which direction to go to adapt to what's going on, the 5 pillars are very simple. We're starting from mindset, but you have to have that preparation of your mindset. And I would say first, what are your goals? Find out what your goals are. Then from that, develop a program. And if you don't have that ability to, then you need to hire a professional. Hire a professional. All right? It's not to say that you are giving up or you're just putting your life in someone else's hand. But if you're having trouble with something, this is what a consultant or a coach does. Right? Don't just think about training. I know we're talking about adaptation or preparation for the mental aspect of training, but you have to have that mental preparation for everything. So my routine, waking up in the morning, I stretch. I'm preparing my body to move. I don't look at my phone. I don't watch TV. I don't do anything that's going to stimulate me or get me hyped up, right? So what's going on now with killings here and mass murders here and you know, vaccines doing whatever, I don't flood my system with that. So I make sure I have at least a 30-minute stretch. I do about a 15-minute meditation. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, I'll be honest. Sometimes it gets to be 15 minutes, but I have a plan and I try and execute that plan. That is called preparation. So now I have my mindset. Now I can deal with what comes to me. I can deal with my many businesses that I'm doing. I have a wife and we're about to have a baby. It's coming. I have to prepare myself for that. So whatever your ailments are, whatever your deficiencies are, or whatever you're struggling with in stress, make sure you have a game plan. And that game plan should start with preparation. Hey, if you're playing sports, you're not just going to tell your team to go out on the field. If you're in business, you're not just going to say, hey, let's just go into a meeting. If you're in sales, you're not just going to say, hey, I'm going to show up. Everyone should buy from me, right? So whatever your profession is, you have to prepare for that to be successful. And what we're saying is everyone has a professional of being better than you were yesterday. And the best way to do that is to adapt through having a goal, having a plan of mental preparation, and then having the discipline. Again, 3 steps to master your mindset. Please check that out. That is what we're talking about. All right, so let's pivot here. So we talked about preparation. We talked about mindset. Now, if we're talking about fitness, training, exercise, wellness, whatever you want to call it, to get in shape, to look better, to feel better, to move better, let's talk about programming for that, right? So I want to pass it to Nick, and then I'm going to pass it to you. What type of program or plan, or should we have a program or plan for preparation, whether it's mental preparation, whether it's mental preparation for mindset, right? Like you alluded to, having a mental preparation for your mind. If you don't get yourself in a good state of mind, you cannot have a good mindset. I'm going to say that again. Mindset and mind state are different. To get in a good mind state, a flow state, right? You have to meditate, pray, stretch, exercise, whatever you're going to get that management of stress. That will help you get into a good mindset. So, programs, plans, coaching, consultants, what would you give our viewers out there to say, okay, I get it, fine, we need to have preparation, I get it, we need to adapt. How do I do it?
Personally, I need to have, it's like you have, let's say your day is like it's just going and going and going. I need to have some type of mental prep routine to create like a distinction and get my mind and body ready for training. So it'll start off by, let me see, I'm going to remove all the other pillars. I'm not going to talk about nutrition.
Okay.
I'm just going to focus on just the mental side. It's going to start by looking up, knowing what I'm going to be training for that day.
Okay.
Just having some type of, obviously having the program, looking at the program, knowing, just mentally preparing. And then once I know what I'm going in for, the hardest part is really getting the foot out the door. That's actually the hardest.
That's a 100% fact. No, say that again.
That's,
Now you know he's getting more comfortable because that's gem number one. That's gem number one. So what? Say it again.
yeah, that's the hardest part, is just getting that foot
Get it
out
started.
the door. So what does it take me mentally to get that foot out the door is knowing that my program will get me to my goal.
Confidence in the program.
Yeah, confidence in that program is all right. All I got to do is get my foot out the door, and once it's out, that's enough. That's literally the hardest part sometimes. And I think the audience needs to hear that, because let's say you just finished working on a project, your mind is thinking about these meetings and this and that and that, and you have to mentally prepare to shift and not be overwhelmed by what you just went through. To think that, to basically get ready to go to the gym.
Right.
All right. So the hardest part is to mentally prepare to get that foot out the door. The first thing that part of my habit, or something I noticed that helps me just prepare to make that foot out the door easier, is having a training program that I'm confident in.
Okay.
And we already spoke about in one of our videos, go check that out, on the difference between workouts and training programs.
Right.
And from there, once the foot is out the door, then I get into battle mode. So I have my playlist, so I have music. So there's a certain, trap music, honestly. But we get into that, Dre has to come out with a playlist for sure. He's a great music curator, but that music is another habit to get me mentally prepared.
Got it.
So I'm mentally prepped to get out that door with the training program, and then I'm mentally prepared to execute that training program with music.
Right.
Once I'm in the gym, it's already like I'm already ready to, whatever I see I got to do in that program, I'm ready to execute. I don't even think about how long it's going to take me. I'm just like, I look at everything one circuit at a time. This is my prep circuit. I'm already ready to execute it. I'm not even looking at, what else do I have for the day? I'm not even getting, I just know I got to get the job done.
We're keeping this in here.
Bro,
he was talking that game too. He's like, I learned. He's
Bro,
like,
I turned my phone off.
Yo.
Ready, action. So I love that. So you're having your training program. Hardest part, getting the foot out the door. Once you have confidence in that training program, now you have the discipline to turn on that music. That music is going to get you into that state, and you're going to execute. Perfect. Now for Dre, let's make it personal. What is your preparation mentally to get you in that state to exercise?
First, I have to make sure, like, I have, I'm not too full, but I have some food in my system, hydration, for sure. And I'm at the point where, like Nick said, like, just getting the foot out the door, right? But I'm at the point where it's just like, get up and go. Like, that's where I'm at right now, right? It all depends on what my program is, what I'm training for, what season it is, right? So it's different. Like if I'm in competition for powerlifting, yeah. So it all depends on the season.
Seasons or like?
Seasons, yeah, like seasons, yeah, season, winter, summer, fall,
First
like
gem.
all those things.
First gem.
Winter is
I like that.
Winter gets
First
10
gem.
times harder.
That's a very important. That's a very important one.
So that if I'm prepping for a powerlifting competition, then I'm all in. My calories got to be right. My sups got to be on point. I got to recover. Like not even just if you're in competition, period, you have to do those things, right? You have to be sharp on those things. Right now I'm in a free flow state, right? I know my workouts. I know, what the type of look I want, where physical I want to be at condition wise I want. So, basically that's like Nick said, it's just getting the foot out the door and just going. I have my training program. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Also, too, I think you got to learn how to like improvise sometimes, right? So improvising your training program, like Nick said, like sometimes you have all these things going on, and you have to.
That's like adapting, right?
Yeah,
That improvising is adapting.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So,
Nice.
what I'm doing with my training, as far as that goes, as far as right now. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to take the simple way, and I'm just going to steal from what they said and cheat. So, having the program, making sure you put yourself into a state of music. Everyone knows that I wouldn't say I need it, but if I want to get into that state, it gets me there a lot easier, especially if I have a crazy stuff going on, right? And then being able to adapt. Again, don't think of it, oh, it's a crutch you need. No. You need to do whatever you need to do to make sure you get the foot out the door and to get the work. Exactly. So my answer is going to be simple. I'll say it again. You guys better go back and watch the 3 steps to master your mindset, right? We're talking about that first one of being aware. Being aware of what your goals are for that day, because every day we're given the choice to either heal our body by going and doing the work or being stagnant and destroying your body. When I say that, I mean that very literally. If you don't do anything, if you stay stagnant, life continues. So you are going backwards in a sense if life is going forward. So I digress. Making sure that I have the awareness first of I'm going to do this because I have a goal to look better, right? He looks good. To have a goal to believe in myself. He talked about the confidence. That's the self-belief. That's the second step. Having the belief in the program that I can execute. And obviously the last thing I'll hone in is having that discipline, right? I know I have my clothes for that day that I need to wear, that I have leg day. I'm not going to come in pants. I need to make sure I have shorts.
That's true.
Yo, that's so. Sorry to cut you off.
But that's so true what he said. Like if I'm going to do shoulders day, I'm going to have a cutoff. I'm not going in and hit shoulders with a t-shirt on. It has to be a cutoff sleeve at least.
Yeah.
If I'm doing chest day, I'm going to have a tank on. I need to see. I need to visualize. But that was
Yes, for me, and I'm just telling you my way. Everyone has a different way, but for me, if I feel good, then I perform good. So I'm going to have my outfit. I don't care what you say. I'm going to have my outfit ready, right? Again, I'm going to make sure I ate well the day before and make sure I eat well before I go in. That's part of my training routine. If I don't have enough calories in, I'm not going to lift properly. I'm not going to be able to execute my track workouts or whatever training program I'm going to do. I need to make sure I have my music. If I don't have my headphones, that workout might not happen at all. Yeah. I'm just being honest, right? So what is my environment that I create to make sure I can execute? Because once you get that foot out the door, if you don't prepare your whole backpack or whatever you're going to put your stuff in, right? How many times have we run out the door and be like, oh, I forgot? Oh, yeah. That builds up another excuse of why you don't want to do it, especially on those days. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom and you got to get away from your kids. Make sure you bring your mommy pack, everything that you need to execute. I don't care if you're a father or, fathers take care of it. I'm going to take care of my kid, of course. But let's say you're going on a business trip, right? And you're out of town. If you didn't pack your stuff, what's going to happen? Do you have any equipment that you need? Do you have equipment that you're bringing to the gym? Do you have massage balls? Do you have Theragun? Do you have a Hypervolt? All those things that I'm saying are equipment that you need. And if you check out our RHM program on our website, we go into detail of equipment that you need to execute what you're trying to do. So long story short, before we pass it back to you guys and we're going to go to our rapid fire questions is, that mental preparation is everything for me for exercise, whether I'm preparing my music, preparing my programming, preparing my outfits that I'm going to wear to make me feel good, right? Whether I'm preparing myself with the equipment that I need to execute. And then obviously, we love programs. I definitely believe 100% if you do not plan, then you plan to fail.
It's an old school.
Period.
Classic quote.
Period, right? So I'm going to do a little different. Usually I go to Nick first, but I'm going to go to Dre. So we're going to go a little bit of rapid fire. Now this rapid fire, we're going to bring it into our little chill talk as well. Now what we're going to do is anything that you want to talk about, right? We're going to let you freestyle anything you want to talk about. The only parameters, I'm going to say limits because there are no limits. The only limits are what you put on yourself mentally. So the only parameters are, let's talk about mental preparation for exercise. That's it. What do you want them to know?
Like you said, we're going to piggyback off everything, right? Number one is have your training program. Number two is eat well, like he said. I'm just going to, right? Eat well before and the day of, right? Your hydration. Man, I'm
Taking notes.
I'm going to keep saying hydration, man. And your whatever else to get you going. So whether it be meditation, whether it be music, whether it be RHM, in those things, whatever it is, do that. And then the last one, just step out the effing door.
That's it. That's all you gotta do. Once you out the door, you can't go back. You ain't going back.
That's
You
it.
ain't going back.
Better not go
Just step
back
out the door.
or he's going to be on you.
So too, remember, if all those things just don't come together very well, what I said before, you have to improvise.
Adapt. I love it.
You have to adapt.
I love it.
Continue building the habit, right?
Continue
Yes.
to build the habit.
Ooh.
Continue to fire. Building the habit.
Ooh, you better not take mine, man. I'm about to go first now. I'm just joking. All right, Nick. You go ahead and give it to him.
One thing for mental prep regarding exercise. By the way, stay tuned for our wind down because I want to get into the human side, removing all the talk about business, all the talk about training, just talking about. I want to ask you guys some questions from the human side of mental prep.
Got it.
But for mental prep for training, if I had one gem, figure out what's stopping you.
I like that.
You know, like
So mental blocks.
figure out your mental blocks and destroy them.
Yeah.
Like that's the voice inside my head. That's the
Terminator.
voice inside my head when I'm like, yo, I spent my whole life figuring out.
That's the Terminator.
I should know that. There we go. So that's the voice inside my head. Is just like, yo, what are those mental blocks, man? I don't care if you're into. I don't care. I empathize with the wide spectrum. Whether you think it's coming from ancestral trauma, generational trauma, your current life trauma, figure out those mental blocks that's stopping you from building the habit, like the OG said, to train, to work on your training pillar habit. Figure out those mental blocks. Figure out those mental blocks.
Excellent.
Just figure out those mental blocks. That's it.
That was excellent. That was fire.
I'm gonna piggyback on what both of them are selling because I'm buying everything they're selling right now. You should too. Basically, what they said. I want you to be aware of yourself first. What do you want out of life? What do you want out of life?
I like that. Yes.
Right? We're talking about mental health, mental nutrition, mental diet. We don't like the word diet, but how do you make your mental better? What do you want out of life? Do you want to just go through life, humdrum? I don't know. That's if someone does not have a purpose. You have to have a purpose. If you do not have a purpose, you're not going to know what you want out of life. So be aware, be truthful to yourself, and say, I don't know what I want out of life yet. Cool. Go to peakvitalitysolutions.com/mindset. We will help you with that. Once you have your awareness.
But give them a gem. Give them a gem. If they don't have a purpose, someone doesn't have, give them a gem, man.
Okay.
Without having to go to website.
Okay. So if you don't have a purpose, there's a very good exercise that you can do, right? Get a piece of paper, draw a circle. Put everything you feel like you want to achieve in your life in that circle. Then draw a smaller circle and then give yourself $1 billion. Would you have $1 billion, what would you do or say or be in that small circle? And if what is in that big circle cannot fit in that small circle, that's not your purpose. Now this helped me to find out what my purpose was. Get a piece of paper, draw a big circle on the piece of paper, put everything you want, a new car, a new house, blah, 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 babies, a partner in life. Then you draw a smaller circle and only put in that smaller circle what you would get if you had $1 billion. And that is really what your purpose is in life. For me, was to help the community become more vital, help my dad, help my mom, help my brother, help my sister. So I knew I needed to be a consultant of health, wellness, vitality. So find out what your purpose is, then and only then you can find out what your goal is. Now, once you have your goal, now you are aware of yourself. Now have belief.
Bars.
Belief in your programming. Belief that you need a program. And then finally, like he said, get out the door. Discipline. Discipline. Have that discipline to connect. Now I'm going to have Nick lead our wind down. Nick, ask away.
By the way, that was a great job, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it was excellent.
That was bars on bars on bars.
Thank
I
you.
like.
I got one gym. Yes.
Excellent. Now you were dropping gems. You were dropping gems. You're always dropping gems.
Take us through the wind down.
So wind down. Okay, welcome to the wind down. It's really.
Let me give a proper introduction.
Go ahead.
Welcome to the Vitality Handbook Wind Down. I'm your host, Yao A.
Look
Owusu
at the same
Jr.
video.
Okay. Go ahead.
Word.
Listen, man, I'm dressed like Yao today, but I'm not giving Yao intros, okay? No, just, all right, let's humanize it. Let's strip away business, let's strip away, let's get to the human side of,
Let me get in my human side.
we stress the importance of an adaptive mindset. So if we're looking at things, just a quick summary before we go into this, we have the mindset, sleep, nutrition, physical recovery, and exercise pillar. All of these pillars connect and give you a stronger mindset, and then vice versa, a stronger mindset gives you a better ability to execute all those other pillars. We focus on the importance of mental prep and having an adaptive mindset. But we went into more about business side, professional side. I want to go into the human side of what do you guys think people struggle with the most when it comes to having an adaptive mindset? We're telling people, hey, you guys, you need an adaptive mindset. What are the top struggles you think people face outside of business, outside of not knowing how to adapt into the, in a new technical world or a new digital world because of COVID? Just this human side. What are the human limits on the mind, maybe the quote unquote limits that stop people from having an adaptive mindset, or that people struggle with the most? I'm just curious to what comes to mind.
I'm going to take a quote. Do you want to go first or you want me to go?
I think a lot of times it has to do with never having any growing pains.
Oh shit, that's a
Okay.
Yeah, so
I feel like
About some people, don't take it personal, but some people it's hard. But that's why, like you said, hire someone, right? Hire us, right? peakvitalitysolutions.com, right? So I'll leave off that, and that's one thing about training. Training kind of gives you some growing pains, like that type of thing. So
we'll go, yeah.
I love that. I'm not even going to touch on that. You guys just let that marinate. For me, I like what Nick said in the beginning of having that adaptability. So I think people don't have that adaptability is because they set limitations. So like my favorite president, Obama, yes, you can, or yes, we can, like he said, you can do it. The only limitations that you have is what you put on yourself mentally. So I think people have so many mental limitations. That is the hardest way
where those
to
limits come from. Not to
Where
cut
do-
you off. Where those limits come from?
The limits come from within. The limits come from within. So let's say if you had trauma in your past and you weren't able to overcome through that trauma, right? That's still your trauma.
Keep going.
That's still your trauma. Do you see what I'm saying? So limitations, for the most part, are done from within. Because if someone's doing something to you, they're really not doing it to you. It's because they have limits on their own mind and they're putting that limit on you. So you should be able to overcome, unless, death happens, most limitations. There are people that have no hands, no feet, no arms, blind, deaf. How do those people overcome? So if you have your eyes, if you can see, if you can walk, if you can hear, you have your 6 senses. Some people just have 5. If you have your 6 senses, then the limitations, in my opinion, mostly come for yourself. When they say sky's the limit, no, there is no sky, right? Beyond the sky, there's universe. Beyond this universe is unknown. So to me, when we're talking about what's the hardest part for people to adapt, is because they don't believe they can adapt. They believe that there is a struggle. I can't make this much money. Well, who says that? You just said you can't. There's no limits. Oh, I can't get biceps like Nick. Well, who said that? You said you can't get biceps. Everything starts within. If there's no you, there's nothing.
I love that.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say when people say, I can't adapt, or you don't understand my life, or I've been through this, or I've been through that. No, I don't understand your life, but you understand your life.
Exactly.
So you need to make sure that you understand that you can do it. I know this sounds corny. I know we're in our wind down, but I'm always going to be in professor mode. And to me, when someone comes to me and I'm a personalized and says, hey, I can't adapt. I can't do this. I can't do this. Get that can't out of your vocabulary. And I think a lot of people put those limitations on themselves.
That's a great.
They put them on themselves. I did. I got injured. Oh, can I recover from the injury? Well, I got injured, right? My stomach hurts, or you know what I mean? I have digestive issues. Okay, I have those issues, so I have to figure out. Now, it is very hard for most people to because they don't have mental preparation. They don't have a training program. They don't have a nutritional program.
And also, too, they don't have self-belief.
This is what I'm talking about. If you have self-belief, self-awareness, self-discipline, there is no limitations. So long story
Say
short.
it again. So if you really let that marinate.
Yes.
I'm thinking of all the struggles and obstacles people go against. There's people who go through a lot of pain out there, a lot of stressors out there. There's no way to ever understand all the challenges and the tribulations that people go through. But at the end of the day, it's hard to say that. It's hard to kind of qualify yourself to say, nah, I think even the people who are put in that pressure pot can still overcome. So, but what you said, I think, is true. And I think, I want you to repeat that because at the end, that's what we have a project going on now where that's what we're actually trying to help people be able to have that mental fortitude, that mental preparation. And that's the first pillar. So I want you to repeat that and let's really
let it sink in.
I have an emotional attachment. I have a healthy emotional attachment to having a strong and adaptive mindset because of where my mindset used to be. So it's a very, not touchy, it's a very important topic. So everything you heard, watch it again if you need to watch it. And that's why I'm asking you to repeat what he just said.
Yeah, I mean, I'll repeat it. I love it. And I'd say this to everybody. I say this to myself, right? Going through trauma and having to adapt from that trauma. Most people, you say, just be honest with yourself, that you can't adapt or you can't do this, I can't do that. If you are aware of that issue and that trauma, that's number one, self-awareness. And if you believe in yourself, you have to have that belief to overcome, then all you need is a program to stay disciplined to get you to be able to adapt to anything. Yes, there's things that are out of your control. But your job is not to control what you can't control. Your job is to adapt to whatever trauma happened to you. That is it. If you try and control things like a tree falling, like he said earlier, or COVID happened, no one, maybe someone knew, but no one we know of knew about COVID was gonna happen, right? We all had to adapt, and the people that adapted had those three things. They might even be aware of it, but they were aware, my goodness, this trauma is happening. Some people are like, they don't know. Then they said, okay, I believe I can do it. They have that self-belief. You have to get that. There's a program for that. Then once you have that awareness and belief, all you need to do is be disciplined to get out of it. Now that discipline might be hiring Dre. That discipline might be hiring Nick. That discipline might be getting a program that's gonna get you on that right track. So I said, that's the main thing. Everyone can adapt. Everyone can adapt no matter what you've been put through. You just have to have mental preparation, right? Self-awareness, self-belief, and self-discipline, and then you'll be able to make it through. So we'll pass that to Dre for that question.
Honestly, whatever you feel like saying, this is such an important topic that the audience has to really understand. This is not just mental prep for training. This is not just mental prep for becoming, a billionaire. It's mental prep just for the day in, day out.
I would say this. Like we had an episode yesterday. It's this channel is for, it's just not mental or physical. It's for life. Period. That's it. So I'll leave it off there.
The Vitality Handbook.
Yeah.
Let's just end it there. Come on, you guys already know. Blah blah blah. Choose to be good. Choose to be great. Heal yourself. Blah 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 blah. Just get into it. Just get into it.
And learn about this bracelet. Okay.
Ooh, let me brace the power. Brace the power. Bing. He got one too. Bing. All right, baby.
That don't look too fancy though.
Like always, man. Dre, Nick, Yao. Let's get into it.
Boom, boom.